From Louisiana.
Mr. President, I rise today to highlight the importance of the Water Resources and Development Act of 2016 and the urgent need to bring it to the Senate floor and to act and pass it through the Senate. Unfortunately, there are many events, floods, disasters around the country in recent times that highlight the need for this. And the most recent, even more unfortunately from my point of view, is in South Louisiana, the devastating 1,000-year flooding in Greater Baton Rouge and parts of Acadiana. WRDA 2016 addresses many of the needs events like this highlight. It builds on the necessary common sense reforms we made in 2014. It reinforces why Congress should be passing these water resource bills every 2 years. And this is one of the reasons why WRDA has come out of both the relevant Senate and House committees with overwhelming bipartisan support. You know, Mr. President, we can't continue to rebuild neighborhoods and cities time and again after disasters. We have to become more proactive in protecting life and property, more diligent in our oversight of the Corps of Engineers to ensure that projects are delivered on time, as well as more focused on creating real paying jobs that help grow our economy with the important work contained in these bills. Some of the highlights of WRDA 2016, particularly that impact Louisiana, are as follows. First of all, let's go to the disaster area with this devastating flooding. As chair of the Senate Subcommittee on Infrastructure, and in light of that recent flooding, I added to this bill language that would expedite construction of the Comeet River diversion and additional flood protection measures along the Amite River and tributaries in East Baton Rouge and adjoining areas. The Comeet River project was first authorized by Congress in 1992. It's one I've been pushing relentlessly for several years. Had this project been completed, it absolutely would have dramatically reduced the flooding we recently saw in Greater Baton Rouge. Constructing the remaining phases of the Comeet River diversion project must be an absolute top priority, which means getting it ready to go, encouraging state and local officials to acquire the necessary footprint and mitigation lands. In addition, in the bill, in the WRDA 2016 bill, we authorized the West Shore Lake Pontchartrain Hurricane Protection Project and the Southwest Coastal Louisiana Hurricane Protection Projects. These projects will provide necessary protection for residents outside of the New Orleans Hurricane Protection System along I-10 and throughout communities in Southwest Louisiana. We authorized the Calcasieu Lock, another vital project to reconstruct an aging lock to ensure safe, reliable transportation along the Gulf Intracoastal Waterway, a vital shipping lane. In the bill, we have additional reforms to the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund. This extends vital programs for ports that move much of our nation's energy commodities, that modernize cost shares to maintain our nation's competitive advantage in the global economy, and provide for additional operation and maintenance needs for small agricultural ports along the Mississippi River. We give authority for ports to get limited reimbursement for maintenance they perform using their own equipment for federal navigation channels. This will help clear the bureaucratic logjam for routine maintenance and operation of our waterways in a very cost-effective way. We provide increases in beneficial use of dredge material. That's critically important for the restoration of our coast, including the placement of dredge material in a location other than right next to the existing project. We provide for local flood protection authorities to increase the level of protection after a disaster and rehabilitate existing levees to provide authorized levels of protection and meet the National Flood Insurance Program requirements. We provide allowing locals to get credit for money they spend for operations and maintenance of multi-purpose protection structures and work they've already completed on coastal restoration projects. And finally, in WRDA 2016, we also have vital studies to look at improvements to the Mississippi River, flood protection and ecosystem restoration in St. Tammany Parish, and other measures. Mr. President, it is vital that we better protect our communities all across America, including in Louisiana, from disastrous floodwaters. And again, we must be proactive, aggressive, hold everyone accountable, certainly including the Corps of Engineers as well as state and local partners, to ensure that these flood protection projects get constructed on time. Congress and the bureaucracies cannot continue to drag their feet on authorization and construction and oversight of these vital projects. So it's my hope that all of us take this into consideration, that all of us move forward with this WRDA 2016 measure. Bring it to the Senate floor, act on it expeditiously, get on with the vital work of maintaining our ports and waterways and building important flood protection for communities all across Louisiana and America. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.